doesn't even want to spend Thanksgiving with them. WWE Raw star slams Roman Reigns, the Bloodline. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer, have a nice day. For the WWE family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you. Roman Reigns told Jimmy and Jey USO that he doesn't want to see them until Christmas, showing his frustration at WWE Crown Jewel after his cousins accidentally cost him the match against Bronson Reed. The OTC vented after his unexpected loss, and one of the USO's longtime rivals used his outburst to make a point. Reigns battled Reed in an Australian street fight to open Crown Jewel in Perth on Saturday. The USOs interfered on behalf of the tribal chief to fend off Braun Breaker. However, a miscommunication led to Jey accidentally spearing Reigns through a table, and Reed capitalized by hitting a tsunami for the victory. Reed became just the second man to pin Reigns in singles competition this decade, and the way he did it has increased the tension between the former WWE champion and the USOs. Reigns' remarks to the twin brothers after the match reflected that strain. Reigns' comments didn't go unnoticed by Xavier Woods, who knows about group disagreements. The New Day member responded to the situation with a subtle post on X. The Bloodline has such a strong family bond that Roman doesn't even want to spend Thanksgiving with them. But yeah, keep pushing that they're such a cohesive unit. I swear y'all are wild most of the time. Reigns' return on Raw 2 weeks ago has reignited the Bloodline story, with many speculating about his motives in recent segments with Jey. He has encouraged the former World Heavyweight Champion to focus on himself, while Jimmy remains cautious about his brother following a similar path to the head of the table. The New Day was a three-man group consisting of Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E, until the latter suffered a severe neck injury in 2022 and hasn't returned to in-ring competition since. The unfortunate news suggests his career might be over and that he has quietly retired from pro wrestling. Big E appeared for New Day's 10th anniversary on Raw last December to celebrate one of the most iconic factions in WWE history. However, it wasn't a fully joyful night for the former WWE champion, as Woods and Kofi turned on him during the show. Woods explained their actions in an interview with Shaq Wrestling, saying they had supported Big E as much as possible. "We just don't want anything else to do with him because he turned his back on us. But regarding his injury, when it happened, we did everything we could to support him emotionally because we can't physically heal his neck. We were there for him calling, texting, sending videos." While Reigns' absences over the past year haven't been due to injury, he has still retained the USO's loyalty. Whenever he's outnumbered, Jimmy and Jey often step in to help, as they did at Crown Jewel. That's why the USOs might take a lesson from the New Day's story, even if their approach toward Big E was harsh, and consider giving Reigns some space. The OTC wants to go solo, and perhaps the best path forward is for their tribal chief to recognize that he didn't reach the top on his own. When the Bloodline dominated WWE, Crown Jewel 2025, Roman Reigns suffered a loss to Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. The USOs tried to help the OTC, but the interference backfired when Jey inadvertently speared Reigns through a table. It's rare to witness Reigns suffer a pinfall loss in WWE. In this article, we will look at 3 clear signs that suggest Chief Content Officer Triple H has given up on the head of the table. Roman Reigns defeated Bronson Reed at Clash in Paris, but his failure to beat the Auszilla at Crown Jewel could be a big indication that the game has seemingly given up on the OTC. It's crucial to note that Reigns suffered a pinfall loss to Reed. The Auszilla is still an emerging name in the company. Hence, a loss to Reed could affect the tribal chief's momentum. Reigns dominated the main event scene as a heel for years. However, his latest loss could mean that the game no longer wants to present him as an unbeatable performer. Since losing the undisputed WWE Universal title, Roman Reigns has primarily been involved in storylines with the Bloodline and the Vision. After Reigns made his return at SummerSlam 2024, he feuded with Solo Sikoa and his group for months. However, the program didn't receive the desired response from viewers. Later, the OTC got engaged in a storyline with Seth Rollins and The Vision. During this time, he also began a program with the OG Bloodline. The original tribal chief currently doesn't have a compelling storyline beyond the family drama and his long-running saga with Rollins. This could be another sign that Triple H has given up on Reigns. Since last year, Reigns has rarely headlined premium live events. His last 2 matches at Clash in Paris and Crown Jewel 2025 opened the show. With the OTC no longer main eventing major shows, Triple H might have given up on him. Roman Reigns' exclusion from the main event scene and lack of fresh rivalries suggests that the game does not have any major storylines lined up for the OG Bloodline leader. If this continues, the OTC's position as a top star could be in danger. The former undisputed WWE champion remains one of the biggest stars in the modern era of professional wrestling. Hence, Triple H needs to feature him in stronger storylines and matches for the benefit of the promotion. At Clash in Paris on August 31st, the Tribal Chief managed to defeat the Tribal Thief in a competitive opener, but the celebration didn't last long. Right after the bell, Bronson Reed and his Vision teammate, Braun Breaker, ambushed Reigns, sending him through the announce table and delivering several of their finishing moves. The attack left Reigns taken out and written off TV for a month. Reigns made his return a couple of weeks before on Monday Night Raw and challenged Reed to an Australian street fight at Crown Jewel on October 11, 2025 in Perth, Australia. The match lived up to its reputation as a chaotic, no-rules brawl. Reigns came out swinging, using cricket bats and stop signs, while Reed fought back with his power and resilience. Things intensified when Braun Breaker jumped the barricade and tackled Reigns on the floor, setting up a wild ringside scene. The USOs arrived next for backup, but the chaos only deepened. Breaker sent Jimmy USO through the barricade, and amid the confusion, Bronson Reed climbed the ropes and landed a tsunami splash, pinning the OTC in his home country. After the match, Reigns expressed frustration at the USOs, blaming their mistakes for his defeat and leaving the ring, hinting at deeper problems within the bloodline. WWE Crown Jewel 2025 ended on a high note at the RAC Arena in Perth, Australia. The 2 Crown Jewel champions this year were Seth Rollins and Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer. The event also saw Bronson Reed securing the biggest win of his WWE career against Roman Reigns. John Cena and AJ Styles also put up one of the best matches of the year, with the champ finally coming out as the winner. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, in a tag team match at Crown Jewel. This year's Crown Jewel was far better than the previous year's event in Saudi Arabia. The matches, especially John Cena's clash against AJ Styles, kept the fans glued to their seats, with both legends delivering standout performances. One of the things the company got right was the big dog being defeated by Big Bronson Reed. Since Reigns had already beaten Reed once, another loss for the 330-pound powerhouse wouldn't have helped his career. Being a heel, Bronson Reed needed to secure a win in this match by any means. Therefore, the company made the right call to involve the USOs and let Jay accidentally spear Roman Reigns through the table. This not only gave Reed a big win, but also pushed forward the tension between Roman and Jay USO. After the match, Roman told the USOs that he didn't want to see them until Christmas, suggesting that when he returns, he'll first settle his issues with Jay before going after the Vision. It was equally important for Seth Rollins to win the Crown Jewel Championship match against Cody Rhodes. There was tremendous pressure on him before the match because Seth had lost 3 matches in a row to Cody. The company made the right booking by letting a heel Seth win against Cody, as it also strengthened his World Heavyweight Championship reign. Before the match, many expected Cody Rhodes to win again, but having the Visionary take the victory was the right choice and aligned well with the ongoing storyline of the Vision. The decision to have Stephanie Vaquer win the Women's Crown Jewel Championship was another smart move by the WWE creative team. By getting Stephanie to win, the company also sent a message that the Chilean superstar is a major rising star in the women's division of WWE.